Hey, ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about DanMachi episode 12, or the season finale. And I gotta say, they went all out, especially with ASTERIUS and the fight between him and Bell, the fated rematch they've been driving towards. And honestly, I wanted so much more, it was so good. But I gotta say, Hermes seems to be very deranged and quite obsessed into turning Bell into a hero, doing everything no matter what the end justify the means, no matter what happens to Bell. So let's get into the episode and talk about it. Honestly, I really hope we're gonna get season 4. There's so much I wanna find out, I wanna discover, I wanna see, especially about a theory I might have. I think it might be true, and most of you have had this theory so far, with Bell's grandpa might possibly be Zeus, especially with the flashback Bell had this episode telling him, do not yield to others, this is your path. And we see the back of Bell's grandpa. I think it might be Zeus, especially by the way Hermes is talking about him and everything we've seen in season 1, season 2, season 3. There's a lot more to Bell and what exactly his past is. Hopefully we're gonna get into that. Now, as for this episode, we have ASTERIUS. It's finally revealed that he's the Minotaur that Bell fought in that epic battle, his first actual 1v1 that he won, which was awesome. And this rematch was even more amazing, especially with the body slams. Damn, those body slams and manhandling of Bell that happened this episode was just oof. So much overwhelming power from ASTERIUS over Bell. Now, before we get into the actual fight, we have ASTERIUS even meeting with Otarl, and Otarl saying, hope you're gonna find what you're seeking. You're still very wounded, missing an arm. Even though he did so much, he still wanted the rematch against Bell, and this is what it was revealed. He was the first Minotaur that Bell fought with. Now, as for Hermes, you see that his plan was mainly to use some Xenos as sacrificial pawns, just to rebuild Bell's reputation, to force them to attack. That was the meaning of the bracelet that Aina had, just to give him a target, somebody close to Bell, to force him into fighting to protect somebody. You can see it on his eyes, the way he's reacting to everything. He's very deranged and obsessed, even going against Uranus and his coexistence party, my bad, the plan that he has. Uranus wants people, humans and Xenos to coexist. Now, Hermes doesn't agree with that, and he felt more similar to Ikelos and Apollo by the reactions he had this episode, even his plan. You know, I'm liking Hermes as a character, but kind of see the real him now, and I'm not so much of a fan, seeing how far and he's willing to put Bell through anything and everything just to get his ideal hero, or the hero of the old days, the way he has it and keeps calling Bell the fool. Now, I liked this episode. Besides the fight, don't get me wrong, the fight was awesome and the highlight of the episode, but everybody just stalling the Loki family, Hephaestus, Takemikazuchi, Mia, even Freya and Elturel. Honestly, I'm such a big fan of Freya and Elturel, and even Hermes admits defeat to Freya, saying she ruined his plans, and thanks to ASTERIUS also his plans were ruined. He even having his madman speech over there on that tower. Now I felt like a completely different character, Hermes, or we haven't seen the real Hermes up until now, or last episode, the last scene of the episode just ended on such a cliffhanger, and this is the real Hermes. The Xenos actually agree to his plan, just trying to give back to Bell as thanks for everything he did for them, to show their gratitude. They're willing to give up their life, especially Gross. And remember, Gross At the beginning when they met Bell, he was one of the most vocal against trusting Bell or having anything to do with him. And now, after he's seen what Bell is willing to do for people he cares, or even Xenos, it doesn't matter what you are, he's willing to give up his life, going along with Hermes's plan to sacrifice his life and a few other Xenos just to regain Bell's honor. I'm really glad it didn't come to that. They started fighting a bit, Bell and Gross, but even Bell decided and saw there was a lot more to it. He felt like they were forced in a way just to do this, especially even in their eyes, having them attacking people, going against the adventurers, and going after that bracelet, and in this case Aina. Bell actually dropped his weapon or put it back in its sheath and stood in front of Aina the same way he did for Vine, or Vine did for him last episode. Another very emotional moment, and Gross backed out. And that's where ASTERIUS, the big brother Minotaur guy, comes in, and it couldn't have been better. And that's when Hermes's plans went to shit. I was so happy to see that. That body slam that Bell suffered, the first attack that he got from ASTERIUS, just pushing him through buildings. That must have hurt. Actually felt that one in my chest. Loki family was being stalled all over the place by Otral, by everybody else, just to give them space for this rematch. ASTERIUS actually showing respect to Bell, talking about his dream, remembering the previous fight between them, both of them honoring each other, calling themselves by their names. And I couldn't be happier that ASTERIUS gets proper characterization. He's not just another monster that Bell defeated. But my biggest question is, how this happen? How did this happen? Did he get reincarnated? Did he somehow survive the first fight? How did we get in this position? I'm curious. I would love more about this intelligent Xenos thing, and especially about ASTERIUS. How is he back, or how does he remember that previous fight? That's my biggest question of this episode, honestly. How did we get in this position? Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome position. I love this episode as a season finale. But I would also love to get some answers after this, and hopefully we're gonna get a season 4, but I'll talk more about that at the end of the videos. And meanwhile, everything while was happening, Hermes just staying on that building above, ranting like a madman over there. Yeah, a different Hermes, or the real Hermes, but the fight, the rematch, Bell agreeing to it, ASTERIUS being very honorable, going through it. The Xenos also get away, especially Gross, thanks to Hestia family. They get him out during the confusion. But the fight was epic, and the animation, the movement, they went all out on this season finale. Now, ASTERIUS wins. No matter what Bell was doing, he just got overpowered. Just manhandled over there. Like brute force over technique, over everything, over planning. He even used his Argonaut skill in their clash. But it didn't work. Simply did not work. He got flung out in the air, body slammed again, like big time. The last body slam, I felt like it broke the ground. I'm still surprised he actually survived. Like, I love these kinds of fight, just pure raw strength, just overwhelming somebody with your raw strength. No techniques, no flashing, everything, gimmicks and something else. I love fights like this. No matter who or what gimmick Bell has with his skill, just growing stronger very fast compared to others thanks to his feelings. Even his Argonaut hero skill wasn't a match for ASTERIUS, who just, nah, it's not gonna work, dude. I'm gonna overwhelm you no matter what. With just one arm, remember that. He still only had one arm and he manhandled Bell. I'm so happy with this episode. Don't get me wrong, I'm a bit sad that Bell lost, but I feel like he needed this loss. Very important. He has a lot of room to grow. This frustration and anger and guilt and everything he's feeling right now is gonna pushing him even further to train. Also, after their fight, Asterius says, we have a draw now. 1 win, 1 victory, or we're on equal terms. Now, next time we're gonna settle this. Are we gonna have a third match between them? I would love it so much. Because this was just amazing. The body slams also just too good. And everybody just leaving them room to have this fight. Even people started rooting for Bell. The ones who were previously hating him, seeing him that he was actually going against the monsters. But I can also see a bit of Hermes's point. Now, even though he had a tiny bit of a point there, he went about it in the wrong ways, and he's very obsessed with trying to turn Bell into his ideal form of a hero. I feel like a lot of people also saw that Gross stopped himself going after Aina and Bell when Bell stopped attacking. And I want to see more body slams. I'm probably gonna watch this episode like at least 2 more times just to see Asterius manhandling Bell. The sound, the feedback you got from those body slams was just so good. And it shows how much support Bell has from the other families, and even Freya intervening on his behalf, even though it was more for herself and whatever plans and obsessions she has for Bell. But so far, if you take it into balance, if you look at it, Freya kind of helped Bell more than Hermes. Hermes with his shenanigans, plans, and especially this episode kind of did more bad things to Bell, comparing him to Freya. Now, granted, we don't know what Freya's main motivation besides her obsession with Bell is. What exactly does she want? Still hasn't been revealed, but I like her quite a lot. Honestly, Hermes, I'm a bit disappointed in you. A bit more than a bit. Like quite a lot, if I'm being honest. I expected more from you, Hermes. I like your shenanigans, your working behind scenes, but the way you went about it, sacrificing the Xenos, nah, dude. That's no, this ain't it, Chief. Even telling Asfi to make the Xenos go berserk. Really disappointed in you, Hermes, and especially after everything you did. You just acted like everything was fine, just going back visiting the Hestia family as if nothing happened. He didn't do anything. And I gotta give it to Hestia, just instantly drop kicking him in the face. He deserved that and much more than that. I don't know. I need a season 4 and I want Hermes to give a... I don't even think he can give a proper explanation besides him being deranged and the faces he was making his reaction. He looked so similar to Ikelos, Apollo. I don't know, dude. There's something wrong with you, and I like you, don't get me wrong. Hermes is an awesome character, but yeah, this episode changed my opinion on Hermes completely. Now, the Loki family gets credit for defeating the monsters, because why not? Public reactions and opinions, everything being shoved under the rug. Bell's reputation is probably back or even better than before. Articles about him miraculously surviving. I still want to see the dropkick from Hestia again. And meanwhile, the Xenos are also fine, making it back in Knossos. Fels healing them. She even healed Asterius, who's going back for more training, probably getting ready for his rematch. I hope we're gonna see more Asterius if we actually get a season 4. And Bell, Ice also finally talking. Ice, I feel like she's slowly, especially after last season and especially after this one, getting starting to get more in love with Bell. She even agrees to train him more. He wants to train more. That they finally meet and talk again on that same bridge where they had their trainings. I'm curious how more powerful Barry is gonna get. Now, this is where I want to talk a bit about season 4. Hopefully we're gonna get a season 4. I saw on ANIList that they added a OVA for season 3, which is gonna be in like 130 days or something like that. So maybe 2022 we're gonna get a season 4, or at least a confirmation or something. I love the series so much. I want more of it. Gods, magic, fantasy. Look at my name, Ares, Greek mythology. I love this kind of stuff so much, and you can't end it here, please. There's so much more to discover, especially about his grandpa, Zeus. Maybe even another rematch. What's Hermes got to do with everything? The evilest, the faction we have revealed this season. What Freya is planning. So many questions, so many things left open. Hopefully we're gonna get a season 4, because we definitely need it, and I highly enjoyed DanMachi. And this fight was just so good. ASTERIUS was the star of this episode. He was the main character and Bell was not the main character, and I'm happy about that. I love Bell, but I feel like he needed this defeat. He pretty much won everything up so far when he was fighting with his plot armor, with his hero power, and I'm glad this time it didn't work. He needed this just to push him even further beyond, especially with the way his skill is working, the relationship he has now with everybody around him. Hopefully we're also gonna find out more about Finn, the Loki family. There's so much stuff. Please give us season 4. Now I leave off the question to you guys. What do you think about the episode? Did you enjoy it? Which was your favorite moment? And what do you think about Hermes, honestly? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. It means quite a lot to me. Now remember to like and subscribe. It helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. Keep enjoying DanMachi. I wish I could say that, because this is the last episode of season 3. We definitely need season 4. Now I'll see you again on the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.